to talk about the pornographic imagination. Because, I mean, you're sitting there thinking, well, I'm lifting for the girls. As I said in one of my last videos, there's nothing wrong with lifting for girls. I said that the image of the ass, right? If you saw the video I did where I was doing curls and I was talking about how the motivation for lifting, if that motivation is the image of you fucking a girl of the ass, that's fine. That's the best motivation, right? Because the image of sex stimulates and it motivates the human being more so than any other endeavors. And what I want to say is that it's also the other way around. When you train, right? When you train, look aesthetic for you have a really good-looking body. What you're doing is that you are building an image inside people's minds, and you're making the world a better place. Really. Imagine if everyone walks around looking like Zeus or Scarlett Johansson. I think this world will be happier, right? It will be a more aesthetic world. And I mean, that's what the Greeks wanted, like the paintings, right? Everyone, it looks aesthetic. That's the idealized version of the universe, you know? Anyway, so in a way, you're doing mankind a favor by making other people, whoever perceive you, minds to be more aesthetic. Like if girls look at you and they have a beautiful model of you inside their heads, when they masturbate, you are actually enhancing their experience. Or when they're fucking you, you're enhancing the model inside their heads that allow them to orgasm. And or vice versa. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? If a girl works out, looks really good, then they're enhancing your capacity to imagine, to whack off and have a stronger orgasm, right? So I think this is very important because I think pornographic imagination, now what I mean by pornographic imagination, the ability or the intrinsic desire to imagine, to think about sexual thoughts, to create carve out a model of sexual fantasy of you actually, you know, just thinking about it. No other animals can do this. Just thinking about, contemplating about fucking a woman can actually bring you to orgasm, right? I mean, no other animals can do this. Why? Because they lack imagination. And I want to argue that the pornographic imagination is what drives modern human consciousness. The way human beings are different from all other animals is, of course, anyone would agree, is that we have better brains, we have more capacity for imaginations and creativity. And what drives that? I think what drives that is the fact that we have to create a model of sexual fantasy so real that allows us to just masturbate and orgasms. The ability to create a more realistic model inside your head and the ability to use that realistic model to orgasm and to practice sort of quote unquote in your head what you would do with a female when you actually are with a female is what drives, you know, not just our chances of passing on our genes and procreation, but is at the same time, it drives our capacity to imagine things. And that drives whatever you know about civilization the way it is the, you know, making your imagination and bring out to real life and building a model inside your head so that you know what to do in real life. The need for an internal model is so strong during sex that it's even hard to function or to feel pleasant or to orgasm doing sex with an actual partner if there isn't some sort of a model inside your head, whether this model is of you and your sexual partner or you and someone else besides your sexual partner or various other types of, you know, fantasies inside your head. Well, the whole experience of masturbating is actually very, very abstract, right? You're doing it to yourself. It's very self-referential. It's very self-conscious. And if you think about consciousness, what makes conscious human beings the way we are is the ability to reflect upon ourselves, right? There's an I. We know that consciousness isn't just out perceiving the world. It's conscious. We can see ourselves perceiving the world. So what I want to say is that animals are conscious, but only human beings are conscious of being conscious. So if that's the case, then masturbation it's one of the most self-conscious act, right? You're so self-conscious that you fucking bring yourself to an orgasm. Think of the level of self-reflection that has to take place for you to do that. And if you, I think I saw statistics where alpha males actually masturbate and watch porn more so than beta males. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a common sense in a way. Like if you look at a lot of people that you know, a lot of betas, they don't really have a lot of sexual urges. Maybe that's because they don't have enough imagination, I don't know. But if you think about it, Why do alpha males have the more need to masturbate than beta males? They are rehearsing that mental capacity more so than those beta males in a way too. And that's important because, as I said before, that ability to model, to have a collective model, the inner model of sex, is beneficial to, it's going to benefit your real life experience in sex, right? The person who is more able to visualize how to be with the sexual partners, the person who is more, who has more urge to want to create a model and masturbate to it, the person who wants to the person who rehearses more is going to have more chances of passing on his genes, because in real life it's going to do better. So it's like, kind of like a sort of like a vicious cycle here, right? Beta males don't masturbate, they don't create enough models for themselves, and they can't bring this model in real life, and they don't produce enough sperm, their sperms aren't cycled properly, whatever, they're not as fertile, and they're just, start to sit in the back, right? And of course this ties back into my no-fap theory again. You don't want to just waste that. Even if you're alpha male, even if you have the capacity to imagine this sexual fantasy so well that you can masturbate 3 times a day, it doesn't mean that you should do it. You should save it for higher means, right? So alpha males in our society, successful males, are the males who are freaking alpha, freaking horny, freaking love masturbating, freaking can create an awesome sexual fantasy in their head, but they hold it in and they transfer that into higher means, right? So when a person does bodybuilding, he's actually really enforcing this theory that I'm talking about, right? And I want to say that this motivation, or this whatever that person is doing to create that aesthetic experience for the other people's heads, is about as should I say noble as anything that could be in life. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just, it's bodybuilding and trying to look good isn't as shallow as what people think if you really think really deeply about it, right? What else do I have to say? Oh yeah, one more on pornography. If you follow my analogy that the ability to imagine sexual fantasies is what drives, in a way, or one way to drive the cognitive capacity of human beings forward, then pornography is what drives the internet. If you think about it, what is pornography? The ratio of pornography versus everything on the internet is huge, right? And you can also even argue that pornography is what allowed the internet to be the way it is, in a way, right? So in a way, if you think about the internet is like a huge brain, and if the image, the pornographic content on the internet is what is one main reason to drive the technology of not just the internet, but iPhones, whatever, all the computers upwards, then you can clearly see the analogy here. Sex drives everything. Sex builds the modern mind. Sexual images build the modern mind.
Hell is more strong.